Okay, now we've been having a great time in New Zealand. We're here for 19 days and we're circumnavigating the South Island. This lake on the right is called Lake Hawi, Hawea, I think it's called. It's a glacial valley lake and it's pretty deep, 392 metres deep. The lake now appears to be on the left-hand side instead of on the right-hand side. That's not actually the case. It's actually another lake. This is Lake Wanaka, which we saw right back at the town of Lake Wanaka. This is the fourth largest lake in New Zealand. We went through a cutting where we left one lake and met up with the next. This next waterfall we're coming up to is called FAINTAIL Falls. We're going to stop the vehicle, then we're going to walk in to look at the falls located in the Mount Aspiring National Park. And we're about 85 kilometres now out of Wanaka on our drive towards Franz Josef Glacier. Now the FAINTAIL Falls, they're about 23 metres high, or the drop's about 23 metres. And it's not after the native fantail bird, it's more to do with the way the waterfall spreads in a fantail shape. That's how it got its name. On this trip to Franz Josef, you go through many bridges like this one, mainly single lane bridges. And we're going through a pass, so on both sides of the road we've really got, steep mountains. It's very pristine, very beautiful, very wild. We go over 2 or 3 of these beautiful one-lane bridges before we come to a place called Roaring Billy. That's the name of its waterfall, of this next waterfall. No one really knows how it got that name, but you can hear the waterfall roaring as it falls down the face of the mountain. So people speculate that that's probably how it got its name. There are many other pullovers and sightseeing stopovers to see on this drive. We've only sort of concentrated on the main ones. We pull in here and pull up in the car park, and we couldn't see the waterfall from the car park and we were a bit rushed for time. So I thought I'd put the drone up to see if I could find it using the camera on the drone. But I became very worried because the internet connection wasn't very good. You'll notice the drone starts wobbling and shaking, and sometimes it was getting a bit violent towards the end, so I thought I'd better land it before it decides to take off and go rogue on me and I might lose my drone. So I did manage though to get a bit of a view of the waterfall called Roaring Billy. This drive from Wanaka through to Franz Josef Glacier, it's really lovely. You feel like you're very isolated out here in the middle of nowhere. Everything is just so pristine. You look at that river there and it looks like some tropical river, almost like tropical beach with white sands. The only thing is, it's not sand, it's all sort of glacial rubble, white stones. And you'll also notice just towards the end of the actual flight of the drone how the wobbling gets quite violent. You could see why I was getting a bit worried and thought I'd better land it quick smart. Now once you've actually traversed through Haast Pass, you come out the other side at a village called Haast, Haast. We're basically on the coast now. The town of Haast came about because the Ministry of Works set up a road construction camp here in the 1960s as part of the effort in constructing the road through the pass from Wanaka towards Franz Josef and what's it called? Hokitika. Now the pass and the river were named after a Prussian-born geologist named Julius von Haast, or Haast, who officially crossed this pass back in 1863. Now, a gold prospector named Charles Cameron claimed to have been the first, but it was Julius Haast's exhibition who was awarded the official recognition, and this town was subsequently named after him. Now, when we leave this village of Haast, we continue, but just outside the town on the way to Franz Josef, you come across this very long bridge. In fact, it is the longest one-lane bridge in New Zealand at 737 metres long. Now, the water here still has that milky turquoise blue hue about it because the river is carrying glacial silt, which absorbs certain colours, giving it this milky looking colour. Now the river, the river, it's about 100 kilometres long, and it runs from the Southern Alps and it enters the Tasman Sea just here on the edge of the town of Haast. It's a bit hard for you to see it here as we go across the water, but sort of looking out to the left and the right, you can see it's just a beautiful blue colour, a milky blue colour. Absolutely beautiful. Now, I don't know whether New Zealanders would agree with me or not, but one thing we've experienced on this trip around the South Island is the condition of the roads. They are far better than what we have in Victoria, Australia. We live with potholes everywhere that destroy the rims of your car tyres. Now, basically on our travels from Wanaka, this is the first time we actually see the sea on the west coast of New Zealand. This place is called Bruce Bay. It's got archaeological evidence supporting a Maori settlement here as early as the 14th century, with middens revealing diets of red cod, mussels, and even dolphins and seals. In 1866, the gold rush exploded in Bruce Bay, resulting in over 1,500 diggers camped in this area. Anyway, it turned out to be a false gold rush, and, within a very short period of time, most of them have moved on to other fields. Now, you do this quite a lot in New Zealand. They have lots of one-lane bridges, and you just need to sit there and wait for the oncoming traffic to pass, and then it's your turn to go across. The bridges are good, really. Okay, they're not flash, they're not state-of-the-art, but can you imagine trying to have a 2-lane or 4-lane bridge? The cost of it, with a country of only 5 million people, it would be beyond the country's means, unless you want to pay extra high taxes. Now, we'll just momentarily stop while I unhook the camera that's attached to my dashboard here and take a sideways view out the window. Look, just beautiful scenery. I look up there towards the mountains. We're very fortunate on this day with these beautiful clear blue skies and sunshine. It's only early May and the weather's actually very warm. Well, I'm using the term beautiful blue skies, but when you look above you can see a bit of cloud. But look, overall, it's been a beautiful day and the skies have been rather cloudless. Look, we love taking these videos. We can look back on them in years to come and relive these trips we do. And we like putting them on YouTube, hoping that future travellers can use my video, our video, and others on YouTube to help with your own planning when travelling around New Zealand or other places of the world. Anyway, we're now driving through Fox Glacier. This is quite a unique place as the glacier comes down to as low as 250 metres above sea level. Now, it's about 12 kilometres from the coast. Now, the glacier itself, it has a length of about 13 kilometres and is considered to be fast-moving glacier due to its steep gradient and the maritime climate being so close to the sea. The Fox Glacier began with the arrival of explorers and surveyors in the late 1800s. Fox Glacier is one of the few places in New Zealand where you can heli hike, ice climb and skydive over a glacier in the same day. Guys, if you're still watching and you've managed to get this far through the video, please do us a favour, leave a comment on how you think I can make better videos. I've made a lot now, don't get enough subscribers, I must be doing something wrong. So don't be afraid to leave a comment, it all helps. Going over yet another one of those one-lane bridges. I'll just take the camera, look out the window again. Beautiful sort of creeks, rivers, whatever you call them, and the scenery. It's just beautiful driving along this west coast of New Zealand if you get the opportunity. After Franz Josef, where we stay the night, we then move on to, God, I've forgotten the name of it. God, skip me. I'll come back to it later. Greythorn or something like that. Sorry. Greymouth. Greymouth's the village or town I meant to say. When we leave Franz Josef, we drive on to Greymouth, where we spend the night there, and then we cross Haast Pass. That's a great trip. Looking forward to making a video of that drive. Hopefully you'll consider subscribing and will catch up with us on the drive across Haast Pass. Now, we're just crossing over the last one-lane bridge before going into Franz Josef. Just before the bridge, the actual turn-off was located if you wanted to walk to look at Franz Josef Glacier. We did do that the following day, and that's subject of the next video coming up. Franz Josef, it's a larger town than Fox, with double the population of about 440 residents. There's more accommodation, there's more shops and eateries for tourists. This town attracts up to 1 million tourists per year. Tourists here partake in guided glacial hikes, forest hikes, kayaking, fishing, skydiving and lots more. Franz Josef Glacier has been around for about 7,000 years. It moves downhill at a rate of about 70 centimetres per day, and it is less than 300 metres above sea level, which is quite unique by world standards. I've also got another video of us just walking around the few shops here at Franz Josef, which we did the following morning. We're now pulling up at the Wildlife Centre, and this is where we get to see a little kiwi for the first time on our travels. Not that we can see much because the area, it's all dim, it's all dark inside, so it's very hard to see them. And another thing was this special lizard, which I'm making another video clip of. Still trying to master the technique of making a half-decent video, but just as I end this one, I've got just a little photo of where we saw the kiwi and the lizard up close. Hopefully that's going to be in the next video. Hopefully you like my video enough to consider subscribing and giving me a like, and we'll see you next time around.
She's looking really nice. She's very healthy. Her skin is almost glossy. Yeah, real chunky, spiky, like almost like prehistoric looking photos of her. She's looking really nice. She's very healthy. Her skin is almost glossy. Yeah, real chunky, spiky, like almost like prehistoric looking